Ladies and Gentlemen, wir kommen zum 47. Match an diesem Wochenende. Wir kommen zum Finale hier beim European Darts Matchplay 2019. Und es wird sich noch einmal die Distanz ein klein wenig vergrößern. Jetzt geht es über Best of 15 Legs. Man braucht also 8 Legs, um hier den Sieg einzufahren. Kann Michael van Gerwen den Titel verteidigen oder gelingt Joe Cullen sein allererster Erfolg auf der European Tour? Und jetzt kommt er, die Nummer 18 der Welt, der sein allererstes European Tour Finale bestreitet, der Jamie Hughes gestern in der Runde 2 bezwingen können. Er besiegte Willie O'Connor, Glenn Durant, den BDO-Weltmeister, hat er aus dem Turnier geworfen im Viertelfinale und sich im Halbfinale in einer Klassepartie gegen James Wade gesetzt. Noch einmal heißen wir ihn herzlich willkommen, den Rockstar Joe Cullen. Und auch den aktuellen Weltmeister begrüßen wir ein letztes Mal, die aktuelle Nummer 1 der Welt. Es soll sein 5. European Tour Sieg in diesem Jahr 2019 werden. Er hat sich durchgesetzt gegen die Nummer 5 der Welt, Michael Smith, gegen Mensur Suljovic. Er hat Christoph Ratajski im Viertelfinale bezwungen und sich souverän durchgesetzt im Halbfinale gegen Dave Chisnell. Ein herzliches Willkommen, MVG, Mighty Mike, Michael van Gerwen! Und der Caller dieses Finals ist Hugh Ware.
This is it, the final of the European Darts Matchplay. We have the world #1, the best player on the planet. There is no dispute about that. Mighty Michael van Gerwen looking to win this title for a 3rd consecutive year, a 4th time in total, and it would be an incredible 33rd European Tour crown for him. But he takes on Joe Cullen. So often, over the last few years, one of the most consistent and best performers on the European circuit, but every single time he had faltered in the quarterfinals or the semis. For the first time in his career, he finds himself in a European Tour final, and he has to test himself against the best player in the world. Is it Joe Cullen's time to finally claim a Euro Tour title?
To first, game on.
The rock star, Joe Cullen, man from Bradford, gets us underway. A race to 8. Paul Nicholson joins me, Dan Dawson in the commentary box, and Cullen starts perfectly.
I think that's what you call setting the tone, Dan.
119.
May not be the best plan.
Well, Joe Cullen has not been great this
93.
year. There's no getting around it. He's not performed at the same level as he had for the 2 previous years. And yet, today,
54.
he's been magnificent. and he's got better and better as the tournament's gone on. He might have to get better again to stop Mighty Mike,
54.
who has posted 3-ton-plus averages and has had a very tough route to the final himself. Yes, he's been the favourite in all of his games, but world number 5 Michael Smith,
100.
Mensur Suljovic Champions League winner, Krzysztof Ratajski world master, and Dave Chisnell 5-time major finalist have all been swept aside.
134.
Joe Cullen, he's using the board very effectively in leg 1. Now, he's won the bullseye, so if this does go all the way, he's got that advantage in the bank.
You require 40.
Doesn't want to use it. 2 10s. Oh, it's a big dart. Just settles him down. A steady 15 darter and denies Michael van Gerwen a shot at a double in leg 1. That's a really improved
121.
Joe Cullen than in previous games against MVG, do you think?
Absolutely. You do not know how massive that is for Joe Cullen, because the last time they met was on the Euro Tour a year ago. He was beaten in a semi-final, 7-0. The time before that, it was the year prior, in 2017, on the Euro Tour. He was beaten in a quarter-final, 6-0. He has lost 13 straight legs on the European Tour to Van Gerwen. The only other time they met on the Euro Tour, he was beaten 6-1. He has won now 2 legs out of 20 against MVG on the European circuit, despite the fact that Cullen, during that time, has been one of the best players on the Euro Tour. Winning that first leg was massive.
79.
I think if he's going to win this game, he's going to have to draw on the experience of the previous game he played against Wadey. He was asked many questions on his throw. He was up to it every time. He's going to have to defend this throw with everything he's got and do it in a relaxed fashion. Woo! Look at that!
71. Michael, you require 54.
Pressure on MVG.
Game from the second
Does
leg.
not
Michael
tell.
van Gerwen,
Double 10 is pinned, and these two trade 15 darters.
Did Joe Cullen just do an MVG to MVG? Getting the 3 treble 19s. Isn't that MVG's trick?
Well, MVG could not win the Austrian event last week. He was beaten in a last leg decider by Mensur Suljovic. That will be a frustration. But he has taken out his frustrations on his opponents this weekend, and it has looked like the Michael van Gerwen we've seen for the vast majority of the last few years on the Euro Tour.
Well, I stress to everybody watching this around the world, if you're thinking about having a cup of tea, don't do it, because this is quick. They are not hanging around. They're playing like they've got a bus to catch. Bullseye.
63.
Perfectly counted. Has had a pop at the 170 today and failed on the bullseye. And Joe's got a great opportunity here to hold again, and a beautiful recovery after a short first start.
It's on. He's just gone the wrong side of it.
135. Joe, you require
These are the
60.
shots. If he's going to defend, he's going to have to do it like this. Could he see enough? You bet he could.
Wow.
And he's palming him off brilliantly.
3 legs, all 15 darters, all where the double has been hit last start in hand with their
58.
opponent on a finish. 106 averages for the pair of them just before that visit. Fabulous contest in the early exchanges.
Cullen scoring better in the first furlong, second furlong and third furlong. Now, the game that really showed us what Joe Cullen was made of was on the European Tour. He battered Barneveld with a 4-number average. And then all of a sudden, everybody started thinking, hang about. He's quite good, this Joe Cullen lad, isn't he? He's got another level. And since then, he's been a totally different player.
Well, his semi-final win against James Wade.
99.
First time he's ever won a semi on the Euro Tour, of course, but it took him 6 times, and some of them were absolute hidings, including that one against Van Gerwen last year.
119.
Seemed like a mental block more than anything else. The talent was there, the performance was there regularly in first, second, third round games, even
90.
quarterfinals.
Joe, you
But he
require
just hit a barrier that he
155.
couldn't get through. Can he blast through it here to not only reach his first final, but to win the title as well? Is it his
95.
time?
Michael, you require
Got a chance to break
120.
here. Van Gerwen only needs one treble, but it's not easy. He can't get it, and Joe has to do exactly what he's done
Joe, you require 60.
in the previous leg, and Van Gerwen's missed the board going for tops. Tops is clear, tops is hit. Cullen striding. He's got the crowd on side.
Game on.
2,000 rock stars in here.
Michael Van Gerwen, the first man to blink.
What's your thoughts on that last start of Van Gerwen in the last leg, where he's obviously going for a tops to leave tops, but there's no guarantee that Joe's going to hit that 60 out. He's snookering himself for the next visit, really.
He did it earlier on, didn't he? And he successfully hit the tops. I don't like it as a dart. I think it's silly, but it is also a bit of a statement dart. It says to your opponent, I can do whatever I want. Now, Van Gerwen has been able to do whatever he has wanted against Joe Cullen on the European Tour in the past. Maybe not tonight. We shall see. But MVG pins his first maximum.
Oh, when MVG hits him, he comes back with something. Leaves himself the Paul Hinks favourite. Fabulous scoring from MVG in this leg. Forces Cullen to get the 127 end game. And game. And he only just misses it.
Michael, you require 41.
Just an extra heartbeat as he lined up that bullseye. Could not pin it. Van Gerwen double 16.
9.
And misses. And Mighty Mike is vulnerable.
Cullen needs to take this out. He looks relaxed. Best double four hitter in the world. Oh, you bet he is. He's 4-1 up on MVG. He's halfway to paradise.
Joe Cullen has got better and better as this tournament has gone on. His average has increased. It was up at 103.5 in the semi-final against James Wade. It is at 105 right now. The best we've seen from the best one-off display we've seen from him this year on the tour was a Pro Tour game against Jan Dekker, where he averaged almost 111. Now, in previous years, last 2-3 years, it's not been completely out of the question to see those monster averages from Joe Cullen. He might need to maintain this sort of stuff if he's going to keep Van Gerwen under the cosh. Even Van Gerwen is susceptible to pressure.
I think you're right, Dan. I think he's going to have to do this all game. Looking to leave 170 from here. He needs another 57.
95.
But the beauty about Joe Cullen is when he gets into this rhythm, which he's been in all day, actually ever since leg 3 of his first game this afternoon, as MVG makes it a second 180 to leave himself on a 2-dart checkout. When he gets into this rhythm, it looks like he can play like this all day.
Yeah, he's been purple since about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Another one. He's gone for tops instead.
44.
And that was something he did earlier because he was having trouble with double 16. Hit a 158 in the semi, did Joe. Oh, really?
My word.
Oh, that was off the bar.
140. Michael, you required 20.
Savagely unlucky. Well thrown dart. But Michael Van Gerwen needs double 5. Oh, clinging on. And it is not often that you say that about mighty Michael Van Gerwen.
Yeah, Van Gerwen's not an automatic car because that was clutch.
57.
Not just about beating people in European Tour finals and majors by massive margins. We underestimate the amount of times he's been tested and he's come through it. And boy, is he being tested here.
134.
Joe Cullen only has 2 senior titles to his name in PDC darts. They both came in 2017. It has been a long, long wait for Cullen to pick up another title. Has made 1 final this year, had a decent day on the Pro Tour before the match play, but by and large, it has not been particularly impressive this year from Cullen. That is a great visit from Van Gerwen in the end to get to a finish.
Another. Rockstar gets out the guitar and he plays a solo for 2,000 Germans. Wonderful stuff.
This might be happening. It might be Joe Cullen's time because everything he is touching is turning to gold.
No celebration, Dan. Keeping the focus, keeping the heart rate down. I like what I see.
Well, when he walked off from the semi-final, beating James Wade, it was a significant step for him in making the final. But he wasn't engaging with anybody around here backstage. He was keeping his head down. He was maintaining his focus. He knew he had this game against Van Gerwen, a man who had whitewashed him the last 2 times they've played. He did not want to come here tonight, make a first Euro Tour final and then say, well, that's my job done. He wants the title. He said all the way through the last year that it's about, he should have won one of these already, at least one. And he feels he's let himself down by not doing so.
Do you know what, Dan? Those 2 Pro Tour titles he's won, he didn't get a trophy for them. Got a nice check, but there was a mantelpiece at home that's waiting to have some furniture on it.
Michael, you require 42.
This should go out in plenty of time. Double 16 has been a bit of a trouble, but he's put it right there. 8 legs in, and Cullen is in the driving seat.
He is, but it is not a commanding lead.
Is there such a thing?
You're never safe against Van Gerwen.
What was that burst he put in against Taylor at Minor? Was it 7 legs?
He has done that, and he's come from behind. He's come from 5-6 legs back at the World Matchplay to Ian White. Came from 6-0 down in the semi-finals of the Players' Championship finals to Darren Webster. He has always got that ability to put his foot to the floor and just start dominating.
Well, after the first 6 darts of this leg, Joe Cullen has seen an opportunity to put his foot on Michael Van Gerwen's throat, and he's done just that.
First to 8, remember, in these finals. This was a Euro Tour a couple of years back. Joe Cullen would be he'd be 1 visit away from a title, but it's not like that anymore.
Joe, you require 161.
He can't follow up the 170 with a 161, can he? Because that would be ludicrous. It would be ludicrous. Oh, it very nearly is ludicrous.
He might have needed that, Dan, because Michael Van Gerwen has crept up behind him, and he's going to have another 2 darter.
100. Joe, you require 25.
To get himself to 6, he needs double 8. Falls again.
17.
It lets him down on this occasion.
60.
It's the first time that's happened in this match. Joe Cullen has had darts at the outer ring and not taken it out in that visit. And Michael Van Gerwen punishes him by pinning tops and breaking back. And the gap is cut to just 1. Joe Cullen still has the advantage because he won the bullseye. MVG needs to find another break.
140.
But it is not as comfortable as it was.
Earlier in the match, those conversions
70.
were being done, and 161 was not converted in 6, the end of the last leg. You have to say that is a failure at this point, no matter what the pressure. If you want titles, you're going to have to convert 161 in 6.
93.
Treble 19 has been a really good friend to MVG, not only this week, but last week as well. Joe's going to have to get that range on dart 1 back.
Nice comfortable leg for Michael Van Gerwen potentially here. Double top for a 12 darter.
105.
Doesn't quite make it, but he will come back. Looking to tie this up at 5 all.
When you're playing at this pace, Dan, just get the feeling that at some point someone's going to have to take a deep breath. It's like they're playing with their breath held. It's level. Joe Cullen has surrendered his lead. He still has that valuable hold of throw in the bank. He needed that. He needed that 1-3-4.
The last time that Joe Cullen beat Michael Van Gerwen was back in 2014. It is a long, long while. 7 consecutive defeats, including back-to-back whitewashers in the 2 most recent games. He is in this match. One of the biggest matches of his career. Yes, he played the European Championship semi-finals last year. Yes, he played the World Matchplay quarter-finals.
60.
But winning those matches would not have given him a trophy and a title, something that he craves.
Oh, Joe Cullen on the 57. Oh, the 57 is Joe Cullen's Christmas present by the looks of it. He hasn't missed it. I think that's 7 treble 19s in this leg.
74. Joe, you require 62. $46.
He will be back. Boy, was he throwing those fast.
Oh, 171.
133.
Not quite.
Joe, you require 16.
It does not matter. A 13-darter for Joe Cullen. If he can continue to produce that sort of stuff on throw, it might be enough.
Emphasize might.
100.
What would Joe Cullen give for a 12-darter here to break Van Gerwen and be one leg away? He performed
57.
so well in a tight game with Wadey in the semis. And there have been questions over mismatched darts in majors in the last couple of years. Didn't mess around against James. Needs the lot here to get on level terms, and he gets him on a pinhead. MVG needing to be woken up on his throne. He has woken up. Look at that for a reply.
136.
Can't find his way over.
58.
And can't
Michael,
find the
you require
54 that would have left the
151.
170 again.
93.
Decided not to go for the 60 because it was closed. And I get the feeling when he comes back to the board, he may split it. Or will he now? Or will he?
174.
He's
Michael,
under the
you require
cosh.
38.
Goes at it. And has to split. And only gets one dart at double 8 and does not hit it. And Joe Cullen to go within a leg of the title. It's there! 13-darter! Joe Cullen, one leg away from a sensational victory in Mannheim.
Whirlwind stuff, this. Feels like this game has been going for 5 minutes.
134.
I guarantee you, if he wasn't already married to Tony Cullen, right now he'd marry that treble 19.
132.
Joe Cullen has not won a title of any sort for 2 years. He's playing a man who has won 11 titles this year, including the biggest ones. World Matchplay, World Championship, Premier League. He's won 32 of these European Tour titles. Joe Cullen's never been in a final until tonight. And he's taken the game to the best player on the planet, and he has been better than him so far.
If MVG doesn't find a treble here, he's in trouble. He's in big trouble. Even though he's left the 170, Cullen is favourite for the match in this leg. Trying to leave double 4. He'll take that right now, because if MVG doesn't take the big fish out, Joe Cullen should get a match dart. However, he's missed it. How many darts will Cullen get?
2 match darts. He only needs the one! We have waited and waited and waited, and the rock star has finally delivered by claiming his first European Tour title. Magnificent from Joe Cullen today, in a year when he looked like he was fading away, and he's produced one of the best days of his career to beat not only a 3-time world champion in Glendowen, but the European champion James Wade, and now the world champion and world #1 Michael Van Gerwen. The rockstar fulfills his Euro Tour destiny, and finally is a champion. He's the European Darts Matchplay winner for 2019 and ends MVG's reign as the champ.
Und damit kommen wir zur Siegerehrung des European Darts Matchplay 2019. Und für diese möchte ich den CEO der PDC Europe herzlich begrüßen.
With some new furniture on the mantelpiece. European Darts Matchplay champion is Joseph Cullen of Yorkshire.
Runner-up Und damit geht ein Preisgeld in Höhe von 10.000 Pfund an MVG Michael van Gerwen. Und der Sieger des European Darts Matchplay 2019, es ist sein allererster Titel auf der European Tour, ist der Rockstar Joe Cullen. Joe, come to me, please. Congratulations, first European Tour win. What kind of feelings are you now?
Yeah, it's great. I told you this afternoon that I'd win it, didn't I? But yeah, to beat Michael in the final as well, and Michael, you know, is a consummate professional. He's, you know, so gracious in defeat and, you know, victory. So, you know, me and Michael are good friends, and he, you know, he congratulated me, you know, wholeheartedly.
What was the difference this weekend in compared to the others? You reached the fifth semi-final here. What was the difference?
I don't know. I think it's just one of them weekends. It's for us mere mortals, you know, not Michael. You know, the stages where we all play really well or we play really bad. It is what it is. You know, Michael's got 11 and he set the standard, and then, you know, to be in a final, it's amazing. Yeah.
Michael, one question, please. I know you're coming to win the events, and you don't want to lose finals, but the problems on the doubles were the key, right?
Yeah, I missed a few chances, but don't get me wrong. Joe played a phenomenal tournament, and yeah, I need to take my hat off for that as well. Normally he's very laconic, and he's like that, and he doesn't want to be that. That's how he normally acts on stage, but today he played phenomenally. He beat some phenomenal players, also myself in the final, and yeah, fair play to him. I always say, if you lose a final, you only can blame yourself, and yeah, that's today's case. So I have to take this one on the chin, and I have to move forward.
Also, Michael van Gerwen, nochmal einen Applaus für ihn. Er sagt, er muss natürlich auch die Verantwortung dafür übernehmen. Wenn du ein Finale nicht gewinnst, dann liegt es an dir selber. Und Joe hat ein klasse Turnier gespielt. Joe, the biggest moment in your career?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's you know, I've been threatening to win a tournament, you know, a big one. You know, I know it's not a TV one, but it's the next thing down. I've been threatening for a while, and I don't know. I think there was some of this weekend. I just believed that I was going to win it. I told you this afternoon that I was going to win it, but you know, there's a difference between saying it and actually believing it. And I genuinely believed it. I couldn't see anyone could beat me today, but there was a few chances, you know, early on where I sort of thought it was maybe going to slip away, because obviously Mike, you know, he's experienced this, you know, sort of stage, but you know, you can't say I've got no bottle now, can you?
Again, congratulations zum Rockstar Joe Cullen. Der tatsächlich heute Nachmittag gesagt hat, es kann sein, dass ich das Ding heute gewinne, der das irgendwie schon im Gefühl hatte. Und der sich natürlich freut, und der sagt, das ist sein größter Sieg bislang in seiner Karriere. Vor allem natürlich auch das Finale gegen Michael van Gerwen zu gewinnen. Die beiden sind gut befreundet. Michael hat ihm großen Respekt hier oben gezollt. Ein großer, wahrscheinlich der größte Tag bislang bei Joe Cullen. Und damit dürfen wir uns verabschieden von euch. Es war ein wunderbares Wochenende hier beim European Darts Matchplay 2019. Ihr wart ein tolles Publikum. Es hat großen Spaß gemacht. Der letzte Applaus geht an euch. Wir sehen uns hoffentlich ganz bald. Kommt gut und sicher nach Hause. Bis dahin. Ciao.